against it. I call the honourable member Melissa Lee. Annyeonghaseyo.
Annyeonghaseyo and good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. I rise to speak on the Sullivan birth certificate bill, and I start by congratulating Louisa Wall. How lucky she is to have had 2 bills drawn in the ballot when some of us have had bills in there for years and years and years. But lucky you. Congratulations. What this particular bill is essentially seeking is to amend the birth certificate of Ms. Rowan Sullivan and require that the Registrar General of Birth, Deaths and Marriages to record the details of her birth mother on her post-adoptive birth entry. The preamble of the bill explains the circumstances in which Ms. Sullivan seeks to record both her birth mother, Diane Sullivan, as well as a mother's same-sex partner, Doreen Shields, as a parents on the birth certificate, as they were the only parents she's ever known. And I take this opportunity to send my sincere condolences to Ms. Sullivan and Ms. Shields on the passing of Diane Sullivan, who died due to cancer. It is a sad story, and we've actually heard from different members in the House, and it is actually very poignant. If Diane and Doreen were able to have married, they would have been able to adopt Rowan, but Diane died before the Marriage Amendment Act was passed, leaving Doreen to act as additional guardian to Rowan, but that expired when Rowan turned 18 2 years ago. And how sad that is. If it actually happened now and the bill had actually passed, they may perhaps be able to adopt. It is uncertain why Ms. Rowan Sullivan is seeking to have this change, or what the practical legal effect Ms. Sullivan is seeking by getting this bill passed through Parliament, aside from getting a birth certificate for her own personal records with both Diane and Doreen's name on it. And I understand why, and I actually empathise with it. But I am a little bit cautious as to what other changes or effects this bill passing might have on other cases. Does this bill actually set a precedence in people wanting to make changes on their birth certificate? For example, I do know of many people whose birth dates are actually different to their real birth dates. Whether it is because it is a difference between the lunar calendar versus the Gregorian calendar, the date changes. But once they are written on an official record, they are stuck with the date, and which is actually incorrect every year that the sun rolls around, the year rolls around. Some records have been destroyed as a result of war or fire, and their birth dates are recorded wrong. And some, like me, have a completely different date caused by mistake or lapse in memory. I never really found out why my birth date was wrong, but according to my birth certificate, I was born in the year of the snake, without giving the year, so everybody knows how old I am. But my real birth date is in the year of the fire horse. And the difference is only a few months or a couple of weeks, but it really makes a huge difference because it is a difference of a year. I'm a year older than I really am. I know I don't look it, Jonathan. I don't know whether it was because women born in the year of the fire horse are meant to be career-orientated and not housebound, and maybe it was that my whānau elders, my grandfather, did not want, he actually wanted me to marry and have children. He didn't want me to be this work-focused woman. Or maybe because I was actually a sickly child and in and out of hospital, and they wanted to make sure that I was viable before they actually registered me. But whatever actually happened, I was registered well after I was actually born, and by the time they actually got to register me, I got the wrong birth date. And it's different months too, so when people count the star signs, I'm one star sign in reality, and I'm another. So when people sort of think, oh, she's an Aquarius, or she's a Sagittarius, or she's a Leo, they sort of judge people according to their birth date. So, I'll just keep you guessing as to which is the real one. But does this bill... the end result, regardless of what the reason was, is that I was registered wrong and I will forever be a year older than I really am. Does this bill actually mean that I can finally change the birth date to reflect the real birth date? Does that mean that I will become a year younger? I don't know. Should I be allowed to? Whether I want to is another matter. I probably want to be a year younger. On the other hand, I can understand that this may be an emotive issue for Ms. Sullivan, and while the intention of this bill in itself is admirable, which is to remember her birth mother and her desire to acknowledge her in her birth certificate, there might be other unintended consequences, and it may not be immediately apparent. And that is the reason why I believe it needs to be scrutinized. This bill needs to be investigated to see if there are any mischief in the bill, to actually open it up to the public for submission, and that is the reason why I support it to Select Committee.
I call the